Welcome into Speaking with Judgment. Thanks for taking the time out of your day for me. Really appreciate it. I'm your guy, Jonathan Mathis, the sports judge. Happy Friday. First day of the NFL season. Eagles Cowboys divisional matchup. We had a game last night. It looks like the Eagles are still that team. Jalen Hurts and the defending champs hosted the Dallas Cowboys. It was banner night, but the Eagles said their focus was on the game. It's really, are you focused and obsessed with winning? That's really what it comes down to. I would say the Eagles are focused and obsessed with winning. It doesn't matter what they did last season. This is a new season, a different team. They're starting fresh. I picked the Eagles to win this division. I was looking at the Cowboys and I'm looking at them eye level now. They're no longer in the rear view mirror. Philadelphia is all in and Dallas isn't. You have all the stars. You have all the future Hall of Famers. You have arguably the best offense. Your defense is elite and you have a title to show for it. Jalen Carter ejected. The night ended very quickly, and with Jalen spitting on Dak Prescott, Jalen was being selfish, and it was very disrespectful, even if Dak instigated the spitting. It doesn't excuse Jalen Carter, but clearly it wasn't out of nowhere. That last night was called rage bait, and your dumbass completely went for it. You fell for it, and it got you thrown out of the game. Now your team is without you. Look, I get it. He pissed you off. You let it get to you. Acted out of character. I don't give a damn what anybody says. Dak wasn't an innocent victim. He started it and baited Carter into doing something extremely stupid that got him kicked out of the game. You thought that was a good idea to spit back? That's what your dumbass get for being a dumbass. Not to sound like an asshole, but that's being a dumbass. You can't commit and act in that manner that Jalen Carter did. It was anything but stupidity. You got to have more control of your emotions. You have other teammates you affect when you make a dumb move like that. Make better choices, dummy. What an absolute idiot. Fortunately, Philadelphia still won the game, and Dak knows better. You're older than Jalen. Act like it. Be an example for your teammates and those around you. Being a good teammate, leading guys when you need to, and not being an instigator who acts worse than a jackass is what makes you a leader. The more I think about it, maturity is a trait he doesn't have. It's extremely weak leadership, actually no leadership shown by him at all after what we saw last night. That was an example of his lack of leadership, which he's not remotely capable of being a leader. And look, we don't know what was said, but spitting on another man is the lowest and most disgusting thing you can do. One of the most disrespectful things you can do to another human being. I was thoroughly disappointed in Jalen's character, in his behavior. It was selfish. It was disrespectful. You got to be better than that. Come on, man. And it goes back to maturity and a lack of self-control. I'm not saying it's okay to get spit on, but you are the single most important player on the defense. You can't put yourself in a situation where you get yourself thrown out of the game. Got to be better than that. When you got a player acting like this, when you got a player not able to control his emotions, okay, that's when you need someone to keep him grounded, level-headed. I think that's part of what's happened with Jalen Carter. Like, it was bad what he did. And he definitely was wrong for that. But also, you could tell something was said for him to react the way he did, spitting on Dak Prescott, who was the instigator. Despite all the adversity from Jalen Carter, from the Jaden Carter ejection, the rain delay, the defensive hiccups, the Eagles pulled out the win. Not in any way, shape, or form was I expecting this game to be as close as it was. A win is a win, but there's definitely room for improvement after week one. This still, to me, seems like a team that's capable of winning its division and running it back. I feel like there's things they can do better, and it's week one, so you kind of expect things to be a bit sloppy. Week one is typically like that, and it takes a few quarters for your offense to find a rhythm. I've never been the one to judge teams based on what I've seen from them in week one. Okay, so the Eagles looked somewhat horrible compared to what we thought they might be. I legitimately thought this was going to be a blowout. Dallas played way better than everybody expected. The offense was electric, clicked on all cylinders. I was impressed with Dak Prescott. There were the positives of Dak Prescott. I mean, there were a lot of positives. I thought he looked comfortable and did a better job leading the offense. He looks prolific, like so. The running game was good enough. But CeeDee Lamb, man, I don't expect to see that from him again. He had 7 drops last year. He dropped 4 passes last night. You have to be the reason they win that game. And he knows that, which is why he owned it. He owned up to it at the podium and knows exactly what happened and feels terrible about it. Catch the ball next time. I would argue that this game was 100% winnable if CeeDee Lamb makes that catch. Dallas probably wins the football game. If CeeDee Lamb catches that deep ball, the Cowboys probably secure the win. In a pretty surprising outcome, Philadelphia beats Dallas 24-20. And one thing Philadelphia did well was second half adjustments. I was pretty blown away. Jalen Hurts comes into this game. He's got the better offensive line, the strong running game to back him up with Saquon Barkley. Hurts is very poised running the offense. You saw it last night. He left the pocket willingly, which often led to receivers breaking open, but gave him plenty of space to run and just take off. And then I'm watching them on defense and was like, man, the defense is definitely not as good as last year. It's going to be like that when you lose some key defenders. The loss of Darius Slay has really hurt them. The penalties, got to clean that up. You got to love the way this offense looked for a week one performance with not a lot of practice time with AJ and Devontae and a new offensive coordinator. One thing you can do better is get AJ more involved. I don't think that's going to be a common trend going forward, the lack of targets. Philly got away with a few egregious holds on big plays, entirely too many penalties. I promise you, the Eagles will be fine. You know what? It was a weird game. The red delay, a player gets ejected after the first huddle, a bunch of bad flags, a ton of no calls. Let me tell you something. I don't know if there's, and you guys tell me if I'm wrong, but I feel like this was one of the worst defensive performances from the Eagles I've seen in some time. Sloppy play, missed tackles, stupid penalties, and this reminds me a little bit of the I think the real story is they have less talent now on that side of the ball, and it showed. The thing with the Eagles is that this ain't the same defense from 2024 or 2025. The D line wasn't very good and needs to be better. They got Cooper DeJean playing safety. They moved him. He's nickel and safety now. Like, literally, they lost Jalen Carter, which, like, that changes everything for your defense, losing your number one guy on defense. Obviously, the game could have been a lot different if he was out there. I think the things that he does are impactful and great, and I can get behind it. I'm enamored with some of the big play stuff. Like, now there's some real serious criticism because of his spitting incident on Thursday. Like, that's the guy you trust on your defense. The game plan was about Jalen Carter having pressure. And when he's on the field, he allows everybody else to eat because of him being a part of that defense. It's one of those things where you need pressure up the middle against Dak Prescott. I'm going to remind you, Dak wants to plant and step and throw. And for the Eagles, it's tough when you lose your number one guy to stop him. And I just don't know if Dak Prescott would have had that level of success with Jalen Carter out there. I think this could be a really good season for Saquon Barkley. Not nearly as historic as last season, but good. The man is a machine, built different. To start the season, he only had 18 carries, 60 yards. First game, you never know how a player is going to look. There's going to be some rust. A player may look a bit sluggish. It takes a few weeks to get into a rhythm. A lot of times, Saquon will be fine. He'll do what he does. There's plenty of season left, and the Eagles are still the Eagles. I'm not going to overreact to anything. It's way too early for that. It's week 1. There was a ton of good. There was a ton of bad. I know it's going to be hard to repeat, but that's a team that can get back to the Super Bowl. And it doesn't matter how it looks. It can be ugly or pretty. It's just finding ways, and that's what great teams do. All right, everybody, that's all I have for you. Thank you guys for watching. Really appreciate the love and support. Hope to hear back from you guys again very soon. Hope to see your faces again. That's all I have for you guys today. It is Friday, a day before my birthday. Tomorrow's my birthday. Yes, I turn 40, the big 4-0 tomorrow. But guys, I'm checking out of here now. I'll see you guys next time because, like always, I have some of the best sports content for you guys. So we'll chat it up again soon. But till next time, you guys take care. Have a great night. See you guys again soon.